So the question at Teachtopia TV today is, what is a number bond? And a number bond, a lot of people associate it with Common Core, and yes, it has gained a lot of attention with Common Core, but the idea actually goes back about 100 years, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and work with number bonds by first looking at two number bonds. So here we see a visual representation of math, a visual representation specifically of an addition sentence, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Another visual representation of an addition sentence, 5 plus 1 equals 6. But it also shows more than that. It shows 1 plus 5 equals 6. It shows 3 plus 5 equals 8. And it even shows 8 minus 3 equals 5. And 8 minus 5 equals 3. And let me go ahead and kind of point that out to everybody. So yes, a number bond shows the addition fact. 5 plus 3 equals 8. It also shows the addition fact 3 plus 5 equals 8. But it also goes ahead and does the subtraction, related subtraction fact as well. 8 minus 5 equals 3. 8 minus 3 equals 5. 6 minus 1 equals 5. 6 minus 5 equals 1. So number bonds are way more than just a representation of an addition fact. In fact, if you want to use Common Core language, you're composing and decomposing numbers. Now, what's interesting about number bonds, and let me go ahead and clear up some of our space here. What's interesting about number bonds is that sometimes they will be framed like this with circles or ovals, however you want to look at it. Sometimes they will be framed with squares, or should I say rectangles, the way I drew them. But it doesn't matter. The key thing is that the larger number branches out to the two smaller numbers. And again, let me show you what I mean there. The larger number, so in this case, if this was I'm going to make this a 5, two smaller numbers that form 5 are 2 and 3. Let me make this a 5. We could have another two numbers that form a 5, 4 and 1. Okay, now notice the larger number is always the number that branches out into the two smaller numbers in a number bond. But a number bond also could be represented in a horizontal or orientation like this. Let me go ahead and clear up some space. Ten is represented here with 5 and 5. And of course, if we were to write some number sentences based upon this number bond, we could easily do that. And 10 equals 5 plus 5, or 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now, in order to give you some more comprehension of a number bond, I'm going to go ahead and give you some number bond in application, in terms of actual use of how you might see it in a paper assigned by a teacher. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to clear the area here a little bit. And sometimes you'll have something resembling a traditional missing add-in problem with a number bond. So here you have our 10, and then you'll be given one of the add-ins, or one of the numbers that make up the 10. So here we have a 6. And your responsibility would be to count on to what brings us to 10. Well, a lot of us know the mental math fact, which is simply 4, but a learner might do something like this: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count on 4 to get to 6 plus 4 is 10. There might also be a problem where a student might be told to come up with several ways to make 10 using number bonds. So in that case, here we have, I'm setting up several number bonds. In that case, here we have, look, 3 and 7, 2 and 8. And that same student might say, you know what? That's not every single way. They're right. In addition to 6 and 4, what do we have? We have 1 and 9. So let me go ahead and write that. One and 9 is 10. Let me clean up that number bond there by putting our little 2 circles there. So 1 and 9 is 10. 6 and 4 is 10. 2 and 8 is 10. 3 and 7 is 10. Now, of course, I should complete these number bonds by showing the 10s. So 3 and 7 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, 1 and 9 is 10, 6 and 4 is 10. But guess what? We're not done. Is there another fact that would form 10 that we could be familiar with? You bet. So let's go ahead and do that. 10 and even 0 form 10 as well. Those are all adequate ways of representing 10 using number bonds. But number bonds are used in application even more ways than that. Let me show you a way we could evaluate 2 expressions using number bonds. I was cleaning the page up here a little bit. Thank you for waiting patiently as I clean it up. And now, let's say we have something like this. 5 plus 3. And here we have to see if both of these are equal. Well, in this case, most students know that if you just switch the addends, they are equal. But what if it's something a little different than that? What if I do 4 plus 5? Well, Okay, so here we go. Notice what I'm doing. I am using the logic behind a number bond in terms of evaluating this expression. 8 and 9 are not equal. But notice how I use my logic or my understanding of number bonds to compare the 2 numbers. And if I want, I could go so far as to even set it up even more looking like a number bond. And again, sometimes we use rectangles, sometimes we use ovals or circles to encircle the numbers. And now, obviously, we see those 2 number bonds are not equivalent. Well, you're going to have a lot of fun working with number bonds, and it's really more than just jargon. It truly is a visual way of representing the relationship between 3 numbers and in looking at addition and subtraction. This is Jody from Teachtopia TV, wishing you a wonderful time working on math and all of your other academic subjects.